Well, I play me. I play Zoe Bell, stuntwoman from New Zealand, visiting friends of mine that are shooting a movie in Tennessee. And yeah, that's pretty much who I play, me.
How did you get involved in this film?
That's entirely Quentin's fault. I'd worked with Quentin on the Kill Bill movies, Doubling Uma, and there's a documentary called Double Dare that's made about me and another woman, Jeannie Epper, and Quentin really enjoyed the movie. And I mean, it's hard for me to talk about it. You're better off asking him because it makes me feel less stupid talking about myself. But I guess he saw me in that movie and decided he wanted that character in one of his movies. So he wrote a movie as kind of, I sort of see it as a little bit of a Quentin-esque homage to the stunt community as a whole, and to be able to cast a stunt woman as herself was kind of him giving the stunt community a big ups, And I mean, he just turned up to my house one day with a script. I knew I was going to be in it, but I thought I would have like a cameo role. It would be sort of his little homage to Kill Bill, tying it in. But when I first saw the script, I realised I was about to say horribly mistaken, but that's not quite right. I was wonderfully mistaken. I mean, I think I was always born a little. Even as a young kid, I was sort of. I liked being up high, and I liked sort of walking along narrow things and climbing, but I was fairly fearless as a kid. But I certainly wasn't. I don't know. Again, you might want to ask my folks. I'm not sure how much I scared them growing up, but I've never really seen myself as a daredevil. It's not like I like risking life and limb. I mean, if I really think I'm going to die or be broken, that doesn't sound that cool to me, to be honest, But there's calculated risks, and it's sort of, it's pretty similar. You see people that play rugby professionally or any athletes, like the chances of getting injured are pretty high, and you don't think of them as being fearless as such, because that's just the sport that they play, that's their job and that's their profession, and I kind of feel like it's similar for us. I mean, I'm sure there are completely crazy stunt people out there, but yeah, I've always enjoyed speeds and heights and being agile and seeing what my body's capable of, and I enjoy that I get paid for it. On set, there's always the coordinator who is the boss man, and they'll often have an assistant coordinator or a rigging coordinator or whatever. For me, in terms of my involvement, it depends on the team you're working with. Some teams are like, you just do what we tell you and that's it, and that's always a little harder for me, but part of the job, I'll shut up and do it. But I think for my own safety and for my own, you learn from being on set. You learn certain set etiquettes, and you learn when it's appropriate to be like, I don't know, I reckon it'd be cooler if we did this, and when it's cooler to just shut up. And you also learn when it's a good idea to be like, you know what, I think I'm going to get nailed doing it that way. I think if we do it this way, you know what I mean? You've got to keep an eye out for your own safety, but I mean, you're a stunt woman too, so there's an element of it being like, well, if it's going to hurt and there's no way around it, that's just the fact of it. You just have to eat it. That's just how it's going to be, But in terms of like the skill base, I had gymnastics and I had martial arts behind me, so I had the basics there. I had the foundations of technique, and but I definitely did most of my learning on the set of Xena with all the New Zealand stunt boys. No, that was completely Quentin's idea. Ship's Mast was entirely Quentin's idea. He, when he first showed me the script, I had no idea that I was going to be one of the lead characters in the movie. No idea. So I was pretty shocked. And like one of the ways he battled me being stunned about the fact that I was going to have to talk in front of the camera so much was, he was like, yeah, but there's an amazing action sequence. Let me tell you about it. I'll buy you some beers and I'll tell you about the action sequence. And I was like, better be good, dude, because I'm freaked out right now, And he explained it to me, and I was really excited about it. I was like, you're a mad bastard. I don't know where you come up with this shit, but I'm excited about it, And it really became sort of like, it took on a bit of a life of its own as we were shooting, because, I'd never done it before. The stunt coordinator had never worked with that sort of thing before. Quentin had never done it. I mean, I don't know that it's been done before, to be honest with you. It sounds so cliche, but I really don't know if it has. We didn't know what our limits were, what our boundaries were. We did a couple of sort of rehearsal days where we were driving around, feeling it out, seeing where you could put me, how far I could, And then when it came to shooting, we had the 2 cars, an amazing stunt team on this movie, amazing. I just love those guys. So we had the 2 stunt drivers. Jeff Dashner was the coordinator in a follow car. this guy Al, who's like a stunt driver driving the camera car. So we've got a whole bunch of vehicles out on the road, and they're all free moving. They're not on trailers or anything. And we started off kind of doing what we could, seeing where we could get the camera, seeing if we could get my face in at the same time as the wheel and this and that, and avoid the stunt driver, but get the, you know, like, and it was just after days and days of like doing it, just we started getting a little bit faster, and we started getting a little bit looser and a little bit crazier, and we started getting a little bit more sideways and a little bit pushing me a little bit closer to the edge. And, you know, we like, and by the end of it, I mean, we were clicking at 80 or 90 miles an hour at one point, miles. I mean, that's fast. You know, at one point I had my face over the thing, and I was watching the concrete disappear underneath me, you know, and I was like, it's amazing that this is not frightening to me right now, because we are moving like at those speeds. If anything went wrong, if we had a pothole, you know, like it could have been nasty. But I think because we'd started off such tight teamwork the way we had, we were able to really push the boundaries in slow increments. So it got to the point where it was so satisfying being able to push it like that.